comparing smaller brokerages and larger brokerages, what is your perspective on the depth of knowledge that a broker must have?
The diverse portfolio and the depth is a bit of a challenge to balance between, in a smaller broker. So I think you need to constantly upskill yourself by going to class of business trainings in order to bridge that gap, because you also want to be competitive when looking at the corporate brokers as well. So you don't want to only take the smaller business because you're a smaller brokerage. So being smaller doesn't mean the pie must be small. I think with the corporate brokerage, it's a bit easier because you've got this big structure where you've got different departments. So for example, in a corporate brokerage, you might have a personal insurance department and a commercial and also specialist business. Whereas in a smaller brokerage, all these different classes of business need to now be incorporated into one.
And do you think clients have any idea of this?
They're not normally willing to pay a broker advice fee, and I think because of that, we probably need to do more consumer financial education just for them to understand the role of intermediaries within the insurance industry. The reason of having a broker is, we conduct a proper needs analysis, so we don't want you to be overcovered or undercovered. So they don't understand that it's a process. I don't just call an insurer and give you an answer.
What are your thoughts on the value of technology?
In terms of client interaction, we've got social media now. So as a smaller broker, you can leverage off that, and you've actually got the advantage because you're not a corporate broker governed by all sorts of red tape. So if a client sends you a WhatsApp at 6 p.m., for example, asking for advice, as a smaller broker, you're able to service the client immediately. And I mean, in the age of technology, we're looking for fast, immediate, anytime, anywhere sort of information. When a client is looking for cover, they don't have to fill those long proposal forms. You can pick up information such as their address off their smartphone. So there's so many things that we could do, and I think it's exciting being part of a smaller broker because there isn't all this red tape governing how it should work. For those customers that usually prefer face-to-face sort of engagements, you can look to virtual reality for all those sorts of things. But I think it's a very exciting time.
And finally, how important is it for small brokerages to be part of an organization like the FIA?
Again, I'll draw comparison from the corporate broker and the smaller broker. So in a corporate brokerage setting, you've got different departments like your legal, your claims, your marketing. So you've got access to all those departments. Whereas in a smaller brokerage, I mean, you are everything. You are the legal, you are the claims, you're everything. So you don't really have that support department. So you don't have access to support departments. And organizations like the FIA really assist smaller brokerages in terms of providing that access. When you need legal advice, so they're not going to be your attorney, but they can provide that legal advice. You can literally pick up your phone, send them an email. They've got regional branches, so they're literally that accessible to a smaller broker with a very limited budget. They've got certain standards that you need to uphold, and those standards encourage professionalism. So as a smaller broker now, upholding those standards assists you to also compete with the corporate brokers, and I think we really need organizations like the FIA.